our culture, how, look, I'm a culturati, culture advocate, culture obsessed, culture addict, you name it. And I never, ever, ever want to be cured of it. So we've spoken about languages on this show before. You all know that. I had a guest who teaches language abroad. This was at the time when she had registered, tried to register something to do with Yoruba, and a white organization had apparently tried to register it first, and she had to fight for the trademark, etc., etc. So you remember that. You're down for conversationers. I know you have good memory because you're quick to say to me, "Ma, you didn't pronounce this right. You didn't give the right phone number." So I know you remember. Anyway, so today, have you, and if you haven't, then you're not on this downfall. You're in a place where Elon Musk belongs, and only God knows where that is, but it ain't Nigeria. If you're a member of this downfall, you would have seen a viral video this week. A viral video that literally, for me, it's goosebumps. I was effusing, I was screaming, I was excited, I was loving it, but I was so proud. I was proud, like, my gosh, there are still people who feel so passionately about our language like this, but not just people, young people. Yes, you've seen it. She was talking to that English girl, the girl at the back of the English class. You know, that one that will say, you cannot pronounce this. Czechoslovakia is what the correct name is. You know those kind? Yes, I know them. There's one group that I'm on. The best thing about her is that she has a wide vocabulary of the English language. Everything else, let's just say, is disposable, but never mind. Now, my guest today is somebody that you are all going to want to know. Her name is Hafsat Abdullahi, and she is the poet in that video. Hafsat,
hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
And she's so beautiful as well. You must be watching us. We're on YouTube, okay? You know, we're on YouTube Live. We're on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos. We're on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. We are on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. We are on the website. All of this, you can see her. She could easily be my daughter. She's so beautiful. Easily.
I'd love that.
Our website is nigeriainfo.fm, and our WhatsApp number is 0809
I downloaded the best thing I had. I don't say hands shaking. It was good. When I was younger, I wasn't really feeling too confident about the name Hafsat or John Yo because of how my friends pronounce and make it sound really funny.
And what did they used to make it sound like?
Onion and other things like that. It sounded like onion, so onion. And
right.
I didn't like
so
that.
It's Ojonyo.
Yeah, so Ojonuyo.
Ojonuyo.
Yeah,
right.
So I removed it.
Okay.
Which I regret now, but I wish I left it like that. And then my name is now Hafsat Abdullahi.
Okay.
But that's my full name. I'm from Kogi State, Ankpa local government. I am 22. I'm still a student of Ahmadu Bello University, 300 level.
Okay.
English and Literary Studies.
Okay.
And my mother's name is Miriam Abdullahi. My father is Abdullahi Mohammed.
Okay.
Okay, so...
So where did you go to school? Did you go to school in Kogi State?
No, I grew up in Niger State.
Okay.
I was raised there. I was born in Kogi, but I grew up in Niger. I was raised there. I did my preschool, my secondary school, it's just my tertiary. I finally moved to Zaria to do at ABU.
Right.
And yeah, I spent my whole life in Niger.
So, have you always been multilingual or bilingual rather? I mean, is there any other language you speak apart from English and Igala?
I speak Hausa and I speak Nigerian Pidgin well.
Look, Where's my shakere? And I like the fact that you say Nigerian pigeon, because yes, we must remember that there are several pigeons across Africa, and even in the Caribbean, patois and stuff like that. So the black diaspora. So with Igala, your parents always spoke it to you?
Initially, we had this language barrier.
Mm-hmm.
My parents, I grew up in a very typical Nigerian environment.
Tell us.
So Nigerian pidgin was how my mom communicates to us.
Okay. So
we got so used to the Nigerian pidgin way of communication to the point that something really hilarious happened.
Tell us.
There was this occasion, we traveled home, and I felt we were the only one that understood ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I just blotted out something
in pidgin,
and everyone heard me. My mom wished I would have said that in the language, because you know this thing about family where you always be careful of this uncle or this something like that. Yeah. And then I may or may not have said that there's said something unfair about that particular relative in English, and my mom was really, really embarrassed.
Wow.
So when we got in, we had this conversation. My parents had this conversation that from now on, it's either Igala or you don't talk to me. And I think the phase was really hilarious, because we would really want to say something, but we can't say it in English. So we'll be forced to.
So you had to
find our way
literally
to say. Yeah. So sometimes I think it helped me whenever she's really pissed and I really need to talk to her, and I fumble with the language. I think it helps to like calm her because of how I'm suffering to communicate.
Yeah.
But on the course of that, I learned how to speak my language well. I'm not the best.
And how old were you at that time?
I think I'm in my preteens, like 11, 12.
Right.
Yeah.
And she just really enjoyed you torturing yourself.
Yeah.
Or she enjoyed watching you torture.
She enjoyed it and I learned from it.
Yeah. Now, all the time in school, were you allowed to speak pidgin or Igala? Igala is the language, right?
Yeah.
Right. Were you allowed?
No, we're not allowed to speak vernacular,
as they called it. Yeah.
So English is I think our teacher even said this rule that if you speak vernacular in class, you pay a certain amount. I schooled in the barracks. I schooled in an army school. So pidgin was the way students communicate with themselves, because it's a very typical Nigerian school. But we're not allowed to speak vernacular in class. Like they insist we speak English. And I was more of the goody two-shoe kind of student. I didn't like to. I always follow rules, so I tried to stick to. But sometimes
to what's said,
it was very hard for me sometimes, because I might mispronounce something and then people will laugh at me. I've always had my reservation about how I'm treated when I don't speak the English language properly. Or my accent comes out wrong. Like I have this mother tongue interference of ch and s. Like Igala people, when they want to say chair, they'll say share. So I that happens to me subconsciously. I just blot out and be like, it's not share, it's chair. So I feel really embarrassed when they laugh at me and make me feel silly. Yeah. I feel embarrassed.
You make some excellent points, because and I'm glad we go on to the sort of conflict of the mother tongue with that adopted imposed language that's now our lingua franca English, which I call it the colonial language that that was imposed on us, that we were forced to adopt, and everybody is now taken on board. It's interesting that you mentioned about that conflict, and it's a conflict of tongue. So I'm Yoruba. Now, the Yorubas have H factor. H factor. Notice I'm saying H. I'm saying H because I grew up in England. Okay. The average Yoruba will say ish. It's just what it is, right? And so when they say O, because H doesn't exist in the Yoruba alphabet. H in the Yoruba alphabet is pronounced as a he. As a E. Okay. Right? Whereas H is a H. So they're written the same, but they're pronounced very differently. So you also get the average Yoruba person, and my nieces is one that I always remember when people start laughing at them. Like, this is a totally intelligent, educated, successful young woman. But she says ho instead of oh. It's a Yoruba thing. So, and so when you were feeling that, how did you overcome it?
I wish I was as confident as I am now. In secondary school. I forced myself to sound. If you notice in that video, it felt like I was too strict about my pronunciation. Somehow, like subconsciously I do that. It's not on purpose. But I got so strict about how I sounded. I'm the class rep. I'm supposed to be an example. I'm supposed to sound good. I'm supposed to impress everybody. I regret that now. And I think finally, when I found this opportunity to write this piece, I wrote it for an international poetry festival. And the theme for
I
the
was
festival,
going to ask you, which one is it?
Lagos International Poetry Festival.
Right,
we just concluded it recently.
yes.
Yeah, so I wrote that piece for that platform, for that event. And instead of the theme for the event is Babel, a new language.
Right.
Or I decided to come from the point of view where I was troubled the most. I didn't want to write about language. I wrote about the attitude to language and how my accent is treated. So the girl in English class is symbolic of everybody that wants to ridicule me.
I was going to ask you, was there a girl in English class like that?
There are lots of girls in English
class like that. Like I said, I know a couple. One of them is on a group that I belong to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But the only difference is I can't be intimidated because I grew up over there.
That one person that always, it's not like that. It's not education, it's education. It's not this, it's that. There's just always someone that makes you feel small. And
they want to make you feel small, but really the smallness is in their brain, not yours. Because here you are, you speak Igala, you speak English, you speak Pidgin, you speak Hausa. Guess who's smaller? Them. Now, before we go any further, have we got enough time for Hafsat to recite the poem? So some of you have not heard that poem. In case you haven't, okay, because today we are celebrating Hafsat, we are celebrating our language. We are going to be celebrating Hafsat through celebrating our language, also talking about the Igala language. But at one point, when I open up the phone lines, I want you to call in and tell me about your experience with your language, your mother tongue. I'm so loving that it's mother tongue. Notice that they don't say father tongue, because it's your mother that talks to you much. So that struggle you had with your mother tongue when you were little and how you overcome it and how you feel about it now. I'll tell you all about mine much later, because I know, as you know, everybody's always shocked that, oh my God, this woman with all her English accent, she can speak Yoruba so well. I'm like, wow. That's even the kankan is even the what? That's the one. If I tell you the Ikorodu one, you people will shock. But anyway, put that aside. So Hafsat, can you just recite that poem for us again?
Gladly.
Oh, are you all watching on YouTube? This is a special. Tune in to our YouTube channel. Okay, nigeriainfo.fm is our website. The Twitter is nigeriainfo.fm. Facebook Live, Nigeria Info 99.3. Instagram, Nigeria Info FM Lagos. When Hafsat Abdullahi is famous, you're going to know you saw her here first perform that poem live. Over to you, Hafsat.
All right, here it goes. To the girl in English class, what is funny? What is hilarious about my painful attempt to communicate in a language that is not even my own? See, this accent tells a story of survival. Tells how my mother tongue endured to this day, so I expect you treat my tongue with some respect. Every word, every syllable I utter comes from a riot within my mouth. Is a babble between subconscious, tongue, teeth, and vocal cord. So excuse you if my speech does not suit you. So this speech comes from the slaughterhouse I call a mouth. In my mouth is a battlefield. A clash of unyielding cultures, warring for dominance. In my tongue is a traumatized survivor. Lost in this alien fluency, see, this accent is how I find my way home. How I say Indikbi without biting my tongue. See, my tongue is forever at war with itself. Forever fighting to decolonize itself. Fighting to lose and regain itself all at the same time. So cut me some slack.
I will not be ashamed nor refrain from saying my name, and no, I will not apologize for my mother's legacy. For there is no dignity in denying my identity. So to the girl in English class, it's about time you learn my own language too. Thank you.
To the girl in English. What was your version of woke up and these followers, new followers that came out of nowhere, and then you get a call or a DM from none other than
Don Jazzy.
Don Jazzy again. Now, I can proudly say I posted that video before Don Jazzy. So don't you all be thinking I follow him. He's probably secretly following me. Yes, Don, I know you're listening. I said that. So what did he say? I mean, this is it's not just a super, this is a mega human person star.
It's mind blowing. Like when he entered my DM,
He entered the DM.
like it was like I saw Don Jazzy typing. I was like, my hands were shaking. My phone fell off my hand. I was like, is it the real Don? I had to check. It was the verified Don Jazzy. I was like, And then first off, I'm coming. Let me see if I can.
Go on, please do. We
go
like
through.
gist.
Yeah, and then I think he wrote in cap later that he loves this. I think I did a screenshot of that.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote in cap later. Comment. Let's see if I can find the chat. Okay. Yes. He said. I was literally crying, so I sent crying emojis. I was like, he said, "This is too powerful.
Oh,
I love it. You're amazing," with a white love emoji.
oh,
And it blew my mind. I was like, "Thank you so much, sir. This really means a lot to me." And then I bowed, and he was like, "This is Junior Speed. It's perfect. Please, what's it called? Okay, I can't really get this.
Yeah.
And then I really posted on my status that I could die today. This really means a lot to me.
Yes, I read that.
And then he came back. I thought he will not chat me again. Like, that's it. Like, I was already happy that at least I have one chat with Don Jazzy. And then he came back and said, "You cannot die, you God forbid. You have not even started yet. This is the beginning. Do you live in Lagos?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I'm not really based in Lagos, but I come for most of my gigs in Lagos. But I'll be around for an appearance for IWS, International Women's Society, which was day before yesterday." And then he said he'll be coming back from Paris if I'm around, that he wants to see me in person. And then
that was it. You lost it. Who did you call first?
I called my brother because he's so crazy about Don Jazzy. Like,
We have plenty.
yeah. So I called him. I was like, "Your boss don't come you. Don Jazzy has come." He says he's a lie. I sent him screenshots. We talked, and then he was like, when I go there, I should take pictures. I should send to him that he really just wants to see it. And then when he came back from Paris, he sent me a DM that he's around. So I said, "I just finished from IWS. If I can come down." He said yes. And then I thought I was going to meet him in his office or something. He allowed me to come to
his home.
home. And he's a very nice person in person.
Okay,
So,
you're going to finish off this gist. We'll be right back after this break, Lagos.
Damn, you have fun now. No, we go Musa side, go cool off now. Omo, I for no mind cool 7 up as I did so. But na just 50 card 90 in my hand. Make Musa no go change am for me. Guy, you never hear the gist. Ground on level with the Wazo bottles. 7 up, Mirinda, and Pepsi 10.
Vote Dr. Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran Dando as Governor of Lagos State. PDP! Power to the people!
For biggest sporting event returns. 32
number one station for talk. Let's talk. Welcome back to Downfall Conversations, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
So just before, I'm still with Hafsat. Yes, what you heard before we went on break was Hafsat. She had recited her poem. That poem that went crazy viral. It was on video this week. She had recited it, and she was telling us about meeting with the Almighty, the one and only, the Oga Pata Pata of the Pata Patas, Don Jazzy. So you met him at his.
Yes.
How was he?
He's very, very simple. When I saw him, I was.
First of all, before you meet him, this is also what's interesting. Before he ever messaged you, what did you always expect?
Don Jazzy, boss, big street man. From although I see he posts and I know that I feel like he's playing with everyone. It depends, and this is how he is with even his staff, like with everybody in the house. Makes everyone comfortable. I really, really my time there. I wasn't comfortable when I came, but when I met him, I just felt so relaxed. He talked so comfortably with me, and then he said he actually relates to the piece. That is why he reposted it, because whenever he's in a meeting with yes, that he usually he would just tell his brother to be his spokesman, because he doesn't have the strength to start forming accents. Yeah, for anybody. Yeah.
Isn't that just so? And that's one of the wonderful things about Don Jazzy. I don't know whether other people have noticed, but that's one of the wonderful things that I like about him. The fact that he's unafraid. He's always comes as unafraid to be vulnerable, and that kind of honesty to an Hafsat must have been a great deal.
It meant the world to me. He was just so welcoming and warm. Yes. And I really just
I saw the pictures.
I really just have to say
Go on, say it.
He gave me his phone.
So there's a little kid in me too.
So I need to thank him live. Yes, he gave me his phone.
That's a new Apple. What's the Apple something or something? Apple iPhone
13 Pro Max. Yeah.
That's like mega expensive.
Very, very expensive. This was what I came with. This was what I left with.
Oh my!
I just have to
God.
say it. I just need to
Please go ahead.
I just have to say thank him. I just have to thank him for his generosity. Like, if I don't say this, I won't feel really, really comfortable.
Yeah.
And then he served me jollof rice, and he said his best. He told me his best food was rice and mixed with plantain. Like, he was just so.
It was like sitting with your friend or your uncle.
Yeah, he was just so welcoming.
He's cool like that.
And then I felt comfortable before I left.
Wow.
Yeah, it was mind blowing.
Wow. Wow. Don Jazzy, thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do. If you know Don Jazzy, if he's not, tell him if he's not listening today, then he's not a damn for conversationer, and he needs to be a damn for conversationer, because Hafsat, we've adopted her as our number one damn for conversation. Now tell me, so when I called you, as I said, I posted the video before, and I'll tell you who I got the video from, because it's important actually to also say how I got the video. The person I got the video from is a dear brother, who one of the people I respect most in this world. He's a culture advocate, he's a progenitor, he's a culture promoter. He literally lives, breathes and eats our culture and spreads it all over the world. His name is the great producer Obi Asika.
Wow.
So Obi shared it.
Oh my God.
And of course he knew that I was going to be the first person to respond, because I was just like, oh my word. And that's how I saw your video. And that's how I ended up. I just had to post. I think I even posted it before I commented on our group, like, and this is the thing. As Don Jazzy said, that story, the video, everything you expressed in that poem connects with him. It connects with me in spite of the fact that the child me grew up abroad, right? The child me that grew up abroad is the child of a mother who actually didn't speak English.
Wow.
But she was determined that we would go to would go to school abroad with Oyimbos in boarding school, in private school, yada, yada, yada. But here's the thing about my mother. God help you if you try to explain to her that she doesn't speak English. Lie and lie and lie. So because of that, we grew up being bilingual. Okay. So she would always speak Yoruba, even though she knew we were there speaking English and everything. And in fact, let me tell you a funny story. My older sister, who went to England probably at the age of 5, 6, 7 or something like that. And my mother put her in school. And at the time, she put her in a school which was not far from our house. She was still too young to go to boarding school at the time. So my mother would go and stand outside. Bear in mind, this woman, Alaja Jarin Seriki, she lived in Nigeria. But she would go and stand outside to school because her little daughter was in school. She would stand outside the school with all the Oyinbos, waiting for school to finish so that she could pick up her little baby, and bring them. So now, here, fast forward. My sister Bibi and I think this was even before we settled in England. We would go on holiday because she would always take all of us to England all the time. We get in a taxi, a black cab taxi. Now, black taxis, we call them black cabs. Black cabs in England, the drivers are like mini gods, okay? Because they are part of the tourist attraction. And, you look at taxi drivers in Nigeria and you think, they're part of the masses. No. Taxi drivers, black cab drivers in the UK are loaded. I mean, yes, they are loaded because they earn it. I mean, they're so expensive. Anyway, so we get into this black cab from the airport, and my mother knows the way to our house. You can blindfold her. Once she gets off the plane, she will tell you the way to our house, even though she doesn't speak any language, an English language. So we get in the car, and she would never allow my sister and I to speak English for her. Never, ever, ever. We get into this black cab, and she said, we were living in Brighton Road. Our family house was in Brighton Road at the time. But she would always say Brighton. You know how in Nigeria, everybody, they would say McQueen. They won't say McQueen Avenue. You just pronounce the first name. So she would say Brighton. Now, Brighton Road is in London. Brighton is outside of London. Are you getting this confusion? Okay. So we get into this taxi and she says, Brighton. So he says, because he says, okay, where you going? She says, Brighton. He then starts heading to Brighton, the seaside, outside of London. And my mother starts hitting him at the back. Brighton, do I beg you? Poor bloke parked his taxi. He parked his taxi and he's like, what is wrong with you, woman? What is wrong with you? I promise you, my sister and I could not say. We dare not speak for her. And she said to him, Elere Mary, I think it's still the British Library, if I'm correct. She knows the way to her house because you have to go past this building. It's a Grecian-style architecture that's got 4 maidens outside, the way the Greek is. Yeah. And she was telling him that he hadn't gone past the Lyra Mary. It was hilarious. It was chaotic. The poor bloke, but God help him. He eventually got it, took us to Brighton Road in Stoke Newington. And that's something that I had to share with you. Now, tell us about Igala, the Igala culture. Igala, for me, is a language that we don't get to hear often. Yeah. It also seems to, it's the language of the minority. So, and most people may have heard of an Igala person, but they may not have heard the language. Even when I called you, my ignorance, I said to you, were you speaking Igbo? You said, no, I was speaking Igala. Exactly. Tell us about the Igala culture.
Okay. From the much I've been able to dig up about my culture, because I didn't really grow up at home, which was sad. I wish I learned more, which I am still in the process of gathering whatever is left of from those rubbles of colonialism. Yeah, so I'm still learning. But we have a very, very rich culture, I must say, from the little I've been able to find out about my culture. First is the language. I noticed that our language is made up of onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia, yes.
Yeah, I pronounced it right?
That's fine, you did.
Okay.
You see, you know what I say? Idea is need. Go ahead.
Okay, so like there's just how we have this thing for expression.
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily have a word for something, but we use a sound to represent that word, and you will just have to know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when I use words like, I don't think we're the only tribe that use that word, but I want to use a very relatable.
Please go ahead.
It's not even a word, an expression. Efulefu.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Like
Which means what?
Useless. You get, but it's not actually a word in Igala language, but it is. I think it's
an expression.
the word
a
sprang from
feeling.
how you behaved, and then that sound became a word.
Yes.
So I think Igala is made up of that. From my observation, because my mom would be like, Edago Piala, that is, you are standing straight and just stark. You are looking stark. Piala, it's not a word, but the sound, Piala, in like, you can almost guess what she's trying to
say.
Yeah. So I think
because it's in the feeling and the sound and the landing of the word, the way it lands on you.
So it's how she felt. She just blotted, and then the blotting became a word that people can actually relate to. Okay, so
Yeah, go on.
and also one thing I also like about our culture is our cultural attire.
Absolutely.
I did not know what our culture. It's so sad. It's so sad actually that I didn't know what our cultural attire looked like. Till my elder sister was getting married. She was getting married to a Port Harcourt person. The name Insikan. I can't really tell the tribe. I don't know what tribe.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So she was getting married to. So they were to swap the cultural attire. He's to wear Igala, and then
She's to wear
where
his.
he's, and then I was like, do we have a cultural attire? My mom was
Hopping mad.
like, what the hell? And then we had to go do Google. She brought out some she has it from her box and showed it to us, and then I was so moved. I was like, oh wow, it's even beautiful.
Yeah.
And then she even went as far as how those fabrics are made. I think there's this wood that sits down, and then it takes a lot of time to make. That is why it's even quite expensive to get the original one.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of yellow, green, white, a little bit of black. The colors are just so much. And then we have really, really rich stories of we have legends, and these legends are actual people. I mentioned Inikpi in my spoken word piece. Inikpi is Omafedo Ata, that is a girl that loves her father to so much that I think the king at the time wanted to conquer a city that was oppressing his, and then he noticed that the city has more manpower than his, or something of that. He knew the chances of winning this war was very, very slim, so he needed to make some sacrifices, and the daughter decided to sacrifice herself and like 10 other of her slaves. She buried herself alive.
Wow.
And I think they made a place of monument for her back home. So after she did that, he won the war. A very impossible war, he won.
Wow.
We have stories. We have lots of stories that really, really rich stories that I didn't realize we even have, because of I've been so used to. I've been trying so hard to shift myself to fit into this new, this foreign. Whatever, so I should be accepted.
Foreign imposition.
I want to feel among, which is very, very sad, because I feel like if there's nothing I have left of my identity, my language is the easiest or the simplest form of identity I have. I don't go around wearing my cultural attire every day, or braiding my hair, or carrying cowrie, but when I have a Nigerian accent, you can tell that she's Nigerian, and you'll be interested to know where she's coming from. Then I'll say Kogi and Amigala. Yes.
Igala.
So I think
I have a friend that we call Igala man, Shuaib. I actually tried to get hold of him to see. He'll be so proud. I hope he's listening. I wanted him to join us by Zoom, but I couldn't get hold of him. Now, I know, look, some of you are already calling. Let me read out the numbers. 0700 993 993 993. And the female only line is 014657190. Do you know your mother's tongue? So when you call in, you have to greet us in your mother's tongue, first of all. And then you have a minute to share your experience, whether it's negative or positive, about your mother's tongue. See, the lines have gone. The lines have gone. The lines are gone. First caller. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Usman. I'm calling from here. I'm from Kogisola, Ambora, government precisely.
Okay, Usman, you can speak. Hafsat is there. Now speak.
That's my uncle.
Uncle Usman.
Hi, Lekoroka.
Lafia Alusa.
Lafia Hausa.
Madam, Imkala is from Kwararafa Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Kwararafa Kingdom comes from Chukun,
Mm-hmm.
Idoma,
Yeah.
Igbira.
Yes. I know.
And so-
Ebira.
and so-
Yes. Yes.
Igbira.
Okay, so is it Ebira? Actually, whilst you're on the line, let me ask, because when the Yorubas would usually say Igbira, but my friend who is from Ebira land said it is Ebira, not Igbira. That Igbira is actually
Okay,
an
ma.
insult.
Igbira, they are our cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So we are from Kwararafa Kingdom. There's a family called Kwararafa. This is a family that fought the people want to Islamize the North Central there.
Okay.
When you get to Taraba, you see Kwararafa University.
Okay.
And we and Jikun
Yes.
of this we are cousins too.
Ah.
So that's where our history emanates from.
Excellent. Excellent. And how, tell me something. Tell me about Hafsat. How proud are you of your niece?
Come again.
I said, tell me about Hafsat.
Hafsat.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you very well.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Come.
Okay. Tell me, when you heard Hafsat reciting the poem today,
Yes.
yes, how proud were you?
I was very happy because she came to radio to make us proud
Mm-hmm.
that to have a sister that can come to radio to make our language proud.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. The phone lines are crazy. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you calling from?
Okay, I'm Isaac, calling from Solo.
Okay, Isaac, what's your mother tongue?
I'm from Kogi State.
Oh, yes.
Kaba.
You have to say hello in Kogi State before
Okay,
you go on.
not in Kogi, in Kaba.
In Kaba, okay.
I'll say Okun.
Okun. And what am I
Okun.
supposed to respond?
So you answer me Okun. So I'm actually greeting you, my
Okay,
language.
Okun.
So I'm married to someone from Igala, anyways.
Okay.
So, and the fact that I actually like the language,
Mhm.
the language itself. My wife is from Kaba, from around the same area with Hafsat.
Mm-hmm.
And really, when I watched the video, I think last week, it went viral last week,
Mm-hmm.
I was really proud. It was posted by one of my in-laws.
Okay.
And really, maybe I must say something about the Gala people. They are very, very confident.
Right.
One time, even the illiterate ones, I'm sorry. I won't use the word illiterate.
Unlettered, not illiterate.
So,
unlettered.
Yes, thank you. But I want to use the right word. So for the ones the right word to use anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So they are very confident.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how you talk down to them, they will stand up to you.
Thank you.
And I always appreciate that of Gala people.
Thank
and
you.
I'm very proud of it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. Let's pick up more calls. Hello.
Sorry, hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name and where you calling from? You're in a noisy place, so you have to get away from that noise. Pastor, you have to get away from that noise. Okay. Call us back. Hello.
Hello, ma.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello, ma.
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
Good afternoon.
What's your name, please? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Lagos Island.
What's your name?
My regard to your guest.
Okay.
What you say
You're
about,
supposed to say hello in your language. What do you mean, my regards to your guest?
My language is Igbo.
Speak to us. Say hello in Igbo now.
So, the language you spoke about the flute, that is something that misbehaves. It's like an Igbo language. That's
Okay.
what we call it in Igbo.
Okay.
The flute, that's the person that misbehaves.
Okay.
So, it's like Igala and Igbo has some.
They do. They have similar.
Similarities.
Yes, they do. They do. They do have similarities. Yes, especially in sound.
Hello?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I don't know if Igala and Igbo has, cultural affiliation
Mm-hmm.
in language.
Mm-hmm. They do definitely sound alike. It's unfortunate because I would have loved to have gotten a language expert in to talk to us about the linguistic relationship between the two languages. All of our language actually are actually very, very similar. Every language across Nigeria, if not Africa, are related, and we have words that sound alike and even sometimes mean the same things.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Kenamo.
Good afternoon.
Kenamo.
Kenamo. What's your name?
That's well done. My name is Isong.
Isong. Yeah, talk to us.
Honestly speaking, I think one of the problems we're having in Africa or in Nigeria, so to say, is these ethnic issues. You understand? Just like what you said, I came to realize that most of all our languages, they are kind of like interconnected to each other.
Absolutely.
If I'm permitted to use
Yes.
that word.
Yes.
Like my language, if you say Iba, Iba is two. Yoruba is like can't.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's funny, and some other words like that. Ino is fire.
And
In my
Ino in
language,
Yoruba.
Ino is
Yes, it's also
peace.
the
You
same.
understand? So it's
Yes.
crazy. But I'm happy that things like this is coming up and it's helping the younger ones that are coming up to
Thank
see how they can make sure that these things is involved in them always.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your call. Appreciate it. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
I need you to speak louder. I can't hear you. Your voice is low. Good afternoon. Right. Oh, okay. Am I? What do I say back? Oh, okay as well.
That's good afternoon in
Right. So
Igala.
do I respond the same way?
Oroka. Hello.
Good afternoon. Oroka. Hi, Becky.
Lafia.
Hola, color. Try volume.
Go ahead, answer him.
Okay. Olukolo, thank you.
I'm really so proud of you. But you are doing it at a time.
Me.
Me. I'm gonna say what Hafsat says.
Okay, Odunki Sadiq. He said his name is Sadiq. That he's my brother. He's an Igala person.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow,
thank you so much, Sadiq. Thank you.
Ami.
Okay. Thank you, Sadiq, for calling. Thank you. The lines are crazy. I need to answer as many calls. Have we got any women? Anybody on the women line? Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm not sure if the female... Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you have to turn your radio off, please.
Switch off completely.
Okay, go ahead. Talk to me. What's your name, please?
Hello?
Yes. Kejiri. I don't know. What do I say back? Oson. And what language is that?
Ondo dialect.
Ondo. You see, you Ondo people, you just take your Yoruba, you turn it to Rishi.
No, it's not that we. That's our dialect now.
Because you're all professors.
That's why people used to say that probably we have some kind of affinity with in terms of language or dialect with Igbo or Benin. Especially Benin people, because there are some certain words we pronounce, so you can never understand. Even if you are Yoruba, except you live with Ondo and you are well taught.
Absolutely. I get that. With Ondo people, I do believe they speak a whole different Yoruba to the rest of us. Yorubas. That's why they call you people professors, because you read too much book. You take language and turn it to something else. I don't understand for you.
It's not so. Every Ondo parents, they aspire to train their children. In fact, they prefer to, even if they don't have anything to eat, if they don't have food on their plate, they don't care, they don't mind. They want to send their children to school.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We've got to go. We've got to go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
Wazo bottles. All now Wazo.
To keep your money, you don't need to worry. Them no go fit to scam you. And you don't need the bank account, yeah. Any transaction you go fit to perform. You don't even need smartphone, no. And you don't need the data.
Dr. Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran Jandor as Governor of Lagos State. PDP! Power to the people!
Dreaming of becoming a professional screenwriter, video editor, an OAP, or a thriving entrepreneur in the music, cultural, and creative industries? Visit www.wazobia.academy to sign up for a training course that suits your interest and get trained online for highly subsidized fees by leading local and international experts. You could be eligible for an internship opportunity. You can access the training on your mobile phones without data right after the first download and study at your own pace. Wazobia Academy. Learn and lead. Terms and conditions apply.
The biggest sporting event returns. 32 teams from the 5 continental confederations will slug it out for football's grand prize and the first ever World Cup to be held in the Arab world. Join every match day from November 20th to December 18th as we cover all the action of the 2022 FIFA World Cup live and exclusive on your number one station for talk, Nigeria Info. The FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 on Nigeria Info is live football just the way you like it.
We see you in Qatar 2022.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info. Welcome back to Downfall Conversations, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
And we're back. We have a special guest that's going to be joining us after the news, but we've got like 2 minutes before the news, so let me answer more calls. We're on a minute and a half. Hello? 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 You're not there. You snooze, you lose. You know, it's that time. Okay, let me go to WhatsApp. We have lots of WhatsApp messages. Can I do that, Oga? Can I do that? Can I go to my WhatsApp messages? Right, okay. Let me go to Ireti. Good afternoon. I jumped into this conversation interview. She must be from Igala, specifically Idwa. I'm from Ibaji. The story about Inikwe was a true story of the daughter of our before Atta was actually buried alive. Thanks. That's from Sam in Satellite Town. My name is Ocheja. Is it Ocheja? I don't know. I'm from Kogi in Ida. Ida local government. Wola Oroka, meaning good afternoon. I'm proud to be an Igala man. Did I say? I didn't say it right. I know I didn't. Is it Wola?
Oroka.
Oroka.
That's from my own dialect.
Okay.
But his is from Ida, so it's
Woloka.
Woloka or something like that. I don't know how they pronounce
Amazing.
that.
Amazing.
Igala has different dialect too.
Yeah. Right. So here we go. Good afternoon, Bakare. Don't you dare call me Bakare. I was never married to my father. I don't even earn that right. You earn the right to call me Sisiogi, and that's where we ended. Good afternoon. I just went through Don Jazzy's Twitter handle since I didn't know hers. She's too gifted and beautiful. I wish her more greater and brighter days ahead. I'm Rati from Alaba. Thank you, Rati. Thank you so much. God bless you. What's this now? I don't care about your account. Okay, we've got to go. I'll be right back. My girl Yvonne is here. She's going to say hello start it with her language and then she'll go into the news. I've put her on.
It's 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria.
99.3 Nigeria Info. You're listening to the news headlines this hour. A Bongbon Bridge will not be ready before Christmas. Police set up team to investigate attack on Atiku's convoy in Borno State. Judge quashes order committing EFCC chairman Bawa to bail, while persons with disabilities rate Sanwo-Olu's administration poor on responding to needs. Lagos State seeks stakeholders' support against building collapse. Former Senate leader Ndume advocates slashing of lawmakers' salary by 50% to meet ASU's demands. government plans to scale up climate change adaptation plan. INEC releases methodology for claims and objections on voters' register, while National Bureau of Statistics says gross domestic product grew by 3.1%. 12 inmates receive pardon from Anambra State Chief Justice. Police confirm that sacked policeman was among POS robbers set ablaze in Enugu. On the foreign scene, Taiwan to top agenda of Xi Jinping and Biden meeting. Rivalry spills open as Trump lashes out at DeSantis over midterm elections results. And Ukraine claims major gains as Russia exits Kherson. Those are the headlines. I'm Yvonne Okafe. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Do we have a happy birthday? Do you have like a happy birthday poem we can do for Yvonne? No? But we're going to sing happy birthday for her, right? Even though my headphones are going crazy. It's Yvonne's birthday. So, you see, you people, my voice is rubbish, but I'm still proud. Like, in my head, I'm Whitney Houston, I'm Beyonce, I'm Tina Turner, and all of the grandmothers that ever was. So, we are going to sing. In fact, I'm Yvonne Shaka Shaka.
Yes,
okay?
my dad named me after her. He had a huge crush on Yvonne.
There you go. So, we're going to sing happy birthday to Yvonne. It's her birthday today. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yes. All together now.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Yvonne. That's me with the voice. Happy birthday to. And this is the Mariah Carey part.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's you again.
Happy birthday, my darling. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving us wonderful news headlines all the time.
Thank you so much.
My love. We're still celebrating our language. Are you going to go? You can't sing. I'm the only one that's allowed to sing on this show because other people get jealous when I sing. Right. Do we have our special guest ready? We have a special guest from Hafsat's family. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, my darling. Tell us your name.
My name is Farouk Abdul Karim.
Farouk, you are Hafsat's brother. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm Hafsat's brother.
Right. Tell us, how does it feel?
Well, I don't have the words to express how I feel right now. It
But
feels really
try.
amazing. Okay, I'll just say amazing.
Amazing.
And I'm really proud of our achievement.
Okay. How are your parents feeling about this?
Well, they're also happy about it, but they've not really had the chance to communicate with her lately because of how her schedules have been tight. So,
what do you do? What do you do?
I'm an artist myself.
All right. So you're all creative in your family?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So when she started doing poetry, what did you think?
Well, she started from story writing before she got into poetry. Okay. It was just, well, it felt normal, but then she kept doing it and on. So we just thought it was something she loved doing, so we supported her in any way we could.
Excellent. She's not in her head that you actually did. Now, do you speak Igala as well?
Yes, I speak Igala language.
Oh, yeah. Since you're an artist, say something nice to me in Igala. Let me go away feeling wonderful.
Okay. I'll say Nafedoe.
Which means what? She's laughing. Did you just say, I don't sound like Beyonce? If you said that, we're in trouble. What did you say?
I said, I love you.
Oh, I love you too. How do I respond? How do I respond in Igala?
Ominugo Afedoe.
Ominugo Afedoe. I love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you for... Oh, by the way, Don Jazzy, yes. I heard you're a big fan of Don Jazzy's.
A huge fan.
And she met him.
Yes.
And you're jealous.
Well, definitely. Definitely will be jealous.
Don't worry, we're all jealous. We're all jealous of her. But thank you for sharing your thoughts. And honestly, to your parents, I can only say send them my deepest, warmest, biggest hug and love, admiration and inspiration, but also for giving us Hafsat, who, this is easily one of my favorite editions of Down for Conversation. Thank you, my love. Let's answer more calls. Be well. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Tayo from Lagos State.
Tayo is my friend, everybody. Oh yeah, T talk. She don't mind that she's very tricky. I could tell her voice.
I'm actually over the moon for getting through.
Okay, good.
It's wonderful. I've had to deal with this issue for so long. I lived in UK for over 35 years. And they can't even manage to pronounce Tayo. They have to call it Tayo. And I'm back in my motherland. And I'm still expecting pride in our beautiful. Everybody wants to speak Yoruba. My son is actually learning Yoruba in UK. And here I am in Nigeria. I'm still expected to speak this. I'm really, really over the moon. Kudos. This is an issue that we still need to discuss at our very, very long length. We need to have our own national language that encompasses all our language, everything.
That would be near on impossible. We can't have because we have over 300 languages.
I know you said it's impossible, but I still have that vision.
Okay.
I still have that vision because Indians speak their language.
But they have several languages. They actually do have several languages in India. That's the thing. When you have a rich culture, it comes with rich, broad languages and tongues and dress and behavior and celebration, etc., etc. So even India, they don't speak Indian. There is that language. You have Gujarati, you have Urdu, you have, all those other things. But Tayo, thank you. Before I dominate with you and I having one of our girlfriend chinwags, thank you for calling, my darling. Thank you. Love you for calling. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name?
I just tried. I never knew I was going to go through that.
I'm happy for you. What's your name?
My name is Dennis. I'm calling from Ikoyi.
Dennis, what is that language? You have to say hello to me in your language now.
I'll say, okay, Daronio.
Daronio, which is from where?
That is a car in Delta State.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm very proud of the lady in the studio.
Her name is Hafsat. Yeah.
Yeah, Hafsat. She's done us proud. She's done herself proud. I think we need more of this in Africa.
Yes.
See, an identity is very important. I keep telling people that even the Nigerians and the Africans in diaspora, no matter how great you think you are, if your country or your continent does not exhibit that greatness within themselves, people will not take it seriously. You see, we need to take ourselves seriously. We need to look at ourselves as great people. And it starts in our language. We can't disregard our language. We can't disregard our culture. We have to evolve. Our culture needs to evolve. I keep asking people where I work. I ask them, okay, what is Bluetooth in your culture, in your language?
Yes, exactly.
There's something that I've observed. Our language has not evolved. We need to start working on that. And I think it needs to be a deliberate effort, not just in the family level, but at the government level. There needs to be something done with the African language. We need to sell our culture. Look at the Indians now.
Yeah.
They're going everywhere, even in the American government, in the English government. But guess what? They don't change the culture. Show themselves, display their culture, and they are doing well in other climes. But what do? We go there, we start changing our names, start speaking this. We just need to do something about it. Just so well done. Thank you very much, Hafsat. Continue to do yourself proud and do the nation proud, and God will see you through.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you so much. Before we go to the next call, let me read. I have so many WhatsApp messages. Before you people start sending me DMs and say, why didn't you read my message? Right, here what we have here. Hello, Ireti. I admire the courage and the confidence of your guest. Her name is Hafsat. Remember it, Hafsat, because when she's famous now, that's how you people will now be wanting to particularize yourself with her. Remember the name now, Hafsat. Right. I admire the courage and the confidence of your guest, particularly when she read out the poem. Please advise and encourage her to add up her Igala name, Ojonia Ojonio to her public profile. So to her public profile, so as she's going global, that the name speaks for her background and encourages others to do likewise. That's from Alamutu. Thank you, Alamutu. You make great points. Good afternoon, Cecile Gay and the world famous Hafsat.
Thank you.
I know famous people. You don't know I know famous people. Igala and Igbo languages are connected in a way, and the people are neighbors. They share boundaries. What my Ondo brother said of us is absolutely true. Even without much materialism, we are very proud of education. That's from Yinka. Yinka, thank you. What a message. Right, here we go. Teach your children your mother tongue. Stop being ashamed of your accent. I'm proudly an Akwa Ibomite, born and bred in Calabar. I have an Ibibio accent. I have a Calabar tongue. I'm so proud of it and won't change it for anyone. I'll teach my children it's my heritage. It is who I am. I'm proud of my Calabar tongue. Blessing from Ikorodu. That's almost poetic, wasn't it? It's absolutely poetic. Thank you so much. Right, here we have Sisioge. Sisioge is not spelled CCI or CCI bit about it. They're going to Big Brother. No, it's SISI. Anyway, Sisioge doesn't mean Don Jazzy is an Igala. Does it mean Don Jazzy is an Igala person? No. Because I'm not too good at knowing musicians and footballers. Do us a favor to explain more of the guest, by the way. Is he or she or he? I am proudly. That's from Sunday John Akbe. Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
Ah, wonderful. Okay, we're almost out of time, and let's answer more calls. Hello.
Sorry. Hello.
Yes. So tell them to not disturb you.
Okay.
Yes, my love. What's your name?
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Pastor Ladipo.
Pastor Ladipo, go ahead.
I'm calling from Orilejum.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me first of all say that I appreciate Hafsat. And this is one of the things I've been advocating for, so that we won't forget our language. I remember I ran into a problem some time ago in one of these African countries.
Yeah.
And someone came that I sent for. I noticed from his name, it should be from Yoruba. So the moment the man came, the man was trying to speak the language everybody understands. I just said to him, I said, Daddy, Ejema Binu, Baba Dele, Amama Soyoku. The man just shouted, oh, my brother, why did you tell me? You misplaced my address. You know?
Yes.
I thank God. And the man rescued me from that problem.
Yes.
It was a thing of joy. You can't forget our language. I'm from Ondo.
Ah, okay.
Ilaje precisely.
Yes.
The riverine area.
The riverine area. Ale. Thank you so much. Thank you. Look, we've been talking to lots of people. Tell me about how you're feeling from all the things you're hearing right now.
It's mind-blowing. Like, I can't thank everyone enough for watching this video and relating to it. It means I'm honored to have been able to speak for so much people. I didn't realize I was doing that till this minute.
Yeah. Excellent.
I literally have goosebumps right now.
Oh, we love her. Don't we love her? I want to adopt her. Because I need more daughters in my life. Look, we've had a request. One request came from my Oga in the studio. Another one has come to me on WhatsApp. They want you, Hafsat, to recite that poem again. But I'm going to make them wait.
Okay.
Let's answer more calls, but we will fit in the time so you can do it in good time.
All right.
All right? Okay. Hello.
Good afternoon, Cecile.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Ojonim is my name. Of course, you know the meaning of this name.
Oh, yeah, tell her. Why must you show off now? See all these people that are showing off now. I'll jump you. I'll just drop you from my damn phone. What are you talking?
Ojonim is my name.
Ojonim. Right. Tell us. Yeah. Where are you from?
Hello, Hafsat.
What language do you speak?
Hafsat should tell you where I'm from.
Okay.
He's Gala.
Gala.
Yeah, you can say from the name.
Yeah, show off, Jerry. Go away. Go away.
You know what? Hafsat can tell you where I'm from. And name is quite important, right? Please, Hafsat, kindly add Igala to your name.
All right. I will do that.
Very important. Even your brother that just called now,
Yeah.
I mean, Arab name. No, this is Arab name. You know, let's do something about this. It's very important.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Trust me. I'm very, very proud. By Arawe, or you are the Jesus Christ.
Amen. Thank you.
I can see you. Some people are just calling this show to show off to me. Seriously, like it's not. I'll be showing my own off before the end of the show. What do you mean? Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Guemo. I'm calling from Lekki. I'm Thieves. In my language, you say Upandive.
Oh, say it slowly.
Upandive.
Upandive. Upandive to you too. Go ahead.
Hafsat, congratulations.
Thank you so
Igala
much.
people are very nice. Some of my best friends are Igala. I'm from Benue. You know, Kogi used to be part of Benue State, and I have a lot of good relationship with them. Igala people are really nice, very beautiful people. I appreciate you and thank you so much for what you are doing to promote our culture. And then still again,
Yes, my love.
you know, I love Yoruba culture. I'm Tiv, but the next culture I love I'm sure that you
No,
there are some
just 2 or 3 long. Yeah.
You know, and I read Forest Seven Demons. Yoruba is really rich. And I think when I see Yoruba looking like that culture is getting lost. And for me, it's a personal loss. Yoruba is such a deep, lovely language, and we should preserve it.
Thank
it's one of the deepest and most richest cultures we have in Nigeria. In fact, around the world. You know that Netflix documentary about the Yoruba culture that was transported to the Caribbean and to the U.S.?
Yes, that's right.
You know, I just follow Yoruba culture. It's such a lovely culture, and I wish that people would, you know, stop speaking English. A Yoruba man married to a Yoruba woman, please speak Yoruba to your kids. It's such a lovely language.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you. So at this point, let me now tell you my own. I told you I'm going to tell you my own. We have time so that, and then I can get Hafsat to recite that poem. People have to. Don Jazzy cannot be a manager. I'm the one that need money. It is me that need money. So here's the thing. This girl with this accent, yada, yada, yada. And I land in this country. So in England, when I'm working, if I want to speak to my sister and I'm at work, I would speak to her in Yoruba because nobody can understand me, right? Yeah. So here's this woman. I get headhunted to Nigeria. I start working at Celtel. They don't exist anymore, so I can mention them. I start working at Celtel. And I'm on the phone and I've got a call from one of my sisters and I start speaking in Yoruba thinking nobody can understand me. And of course, it suddenly occurred to me, they can understand you, you silly woman. And I always remember what the HR person said to me on that call. The HR person, everything was going well. And then she said, well, Ireti, I don't think your colleagues will be able to understand you because do you speak any Yoruba because of this your accent? I said, Baolo Shefe.
Wow.
Well, she was like, okay. Because here's the thing, I tell people, and it still shocks people till today. I had a restaurant and area boys would be there. One day, and they would hear me speak like this and they would hear me da-da-da. And one day I just went outside and I said, yeah, Baba. Literally, their jaw dropped. I said, yes, don't try me. Because you hear English does not mean she's stupid. So, and it shocks people. And that shock that shocks people for me is something that I use in my favor. My sister and I were on the bus in England, young girls on the bus doing our thing. 2 Nigerians walking, they're Yoruba. Literally like, yeah, don't be messing with this girl. Go ahead, Hafsat, recite that poem before they throw me off air.
All right. Here it goes. To the girl in English class, what is funny? What is hilarious about my painful attempt to communicate in a language that is not even my own? See, this accent tells a story of survival. Tells how my mother tongue endured to this day, so I expect you treat my tongue with some respect. Every word, every syllable I utter comes from a riot within my mouth, is a babble between subconscious tongue, teeth, and vocal cord. So excuse you if my speech does not suit you. See, this speech comes from this slaughterhouse I call a mouth. See, my mouth is a battlefield. A clash of unyielding cultures, warring for dominance. See, my tongue is a traumatized survivor. Lost in this alien fluency. See, this accent is how I find my way home. How I managed to say Inikbi without biting my tongue. See, my tongue is forever at war with itself, forever fighting to decolonize itself, fighting to lose and regain itself all at the same time. So cut me some slack. I will not be ashamed nor refrain from saying my name, and no, I will not apologize for my mother's legacy. For there is no dignity in denying my identity. So to the girl in English class, it's about time you learn my own language too.
To the girl in English class, it's about time you learn everybody else's language too. How can I thank you? I really don't know how I can thank you, but to keep saying thank you. Thank you for making us proud. Thank you for making your parents proud. Thank you for making Igala proud. Thank you for making Nigeria proud. Thank you for making your generation proud. Thank you for thanking God and using the talent that He gave you to thank Him. Thank you for doing all you do. In fact, we're thankful that they didn't take you in that competition, because had they taken you, we may never have gotten to see and actually be blessed with what you did in that video. What does the future like look for you?
I honestly don't know, but what I have pictured for myself is helping a lot of people, being the voice of a lot of people. And I think I've already started on that part, because I've spoken for women, spoken for race, spoken for culture, female genital mutilation. I've entered the skin of a lot of people, and I've been honored to speak for them. And in the future, I hope that I speak for more audience, for more people, and I've been able to even use my voice to lure them to liberation.
What's your handle? Because I know lots of people want to follow you. In fact, you'll have to tell me if it's 20,000. What's your handle?
I am Havi on all social media
How
platforms.
do you spell it?
Havfy.
Right. Havfy. F for Freddy. Y. On Instagram and on Twitter.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. On all social, I'm Havi. Yeah.
One of the things that I love in that poem is my mouth is a battlefield. You see this mouth, eh? My own, no. The battle is plenty and plenty. It's the mouth, and because our voice and because language matters. And that's what I love about what you say when you say you want to continue to use your voice to uplift others, elevate, teach, educate, expand, broaden, whatever. Hafsat, let me get my Oga to say something. What would you like to say?
I'm actually lost in the videos.
Oh,
yes. I can't play it out loud, but watching it, I just keep burying my head and I keep staring. I'm proud of you, Hafsat.
Thank you so much.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And let me tell you all why Don Jazzy matters in all of this. You may not know. So Don Jazzy matters because he is one of the kings of Afro beats with an S. Olamide matters because he is the king of Afro beats with an S. In fact, when I tell you that when Hafsat is famous, you people better remember. Here's something you don't know. Before Burna Boy was famous, before you all knew him, he used to come to my restaurant. Yes.
Wow.
Back then. And he still remembers Cinnamon.
Wow.
Yes, he does. So when I think of Afro beats and I think of all these wonderful, wonderful young music artists that we have, my son speaks English, went to the French school, speaks French fluently, but also speaks Yoruba. And when he was young, he was embarrassed to speak Yoruba. But guess what? Soon as Olamide came out, that was it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go. They are throwing us off air. Hafsat, say the last word. Bye-bye in your language.
Shegbatugba.
Shegbatugba. Until next Friday. Ciao, ciao. Look after each other.